Hello, what up guys? How you doing? It is Lasty here. Welcome today to a new episode of the FIFA 20 Ultimate Team Road to Glory, episode number 47, I do believe. And in today's episode, we are going to be playing a whole bunch of weekend league games, getting through the majority of that. And then we're also going to be making a couple of changes to the team, as you can probably tell by the thumbnail of this video. If you do enjoy, hit me with a thumbs up button. I'd really appreciate it. If we can get 3,000 likes today, Lasty will be a very happy man. So you want to make Lasty a happy man, right? And of course, don't forget to sub to the channel if you're new. Click the notification bell so you never miss an upload. Now, we go on in and take a little look at what's sold. I'm trying to sell a few things just to maybe get a few coins together again, as well as, for the main reason just to get some coins, but then also because I do want to make a couple of changes towards the end of the episode. But yeah, it's time to go on into Foot Champions, knowing that we have played 8 matches already, but only come away with 5 wins. That is not the greatest of starts from us, really, is it? So, today is all about just sort of knocking those games out and getting victories, okay? So, the first game we come up against looks a very lot like one of my old teams, right? Apart from Neymar, he's got Felipe Anderson. So, yeah, I don't know. I can't just assume that this guy was maybe a viewer, but it was a very similar squad to what the sort of thing that we used to use. So, if he's not a viewer, he's just got very, very good taste in squads, But we go 1-0 up pretty fortunately, actually, with Mbappe just before the halftime break. And I can change stuff around in the second half. As you can see here, Lautaro Martinez. I've been bringing Lewandowski off more and more often, earlier and earlier in games, which sort of tells me that maybe he's not quite working out for me, or I'm looking for other options. And Lautaro is there to actually score a goal for us after 59, 60 minutes to put us 2-0 up. Decent, considering this was one of those tough games against someone that I, was very similar to how I played and stuff, and just genuinely not the easiest of games. But we make it look easy, I guess, just in the highlight reel by ending up going 3-0 up. So the shots that we were taking just tended to be the clinical ones, and what my opponent was getting, I was able to often defend. But not this time, because he does push through with Insigne, who is a great little player on this game. And I'm not going to lie, when I saw that, in the second batch of screams, he's got that scream card, his stats look outstanding. I bet he is a Messi-like card on this game. So that's up to 6 wins. So we've now got double the amount of wins as the losses that we've got. So we're 6-3, and we can go on into the next one. And I didn't quite understand this team. The guy's got expensive players in Van Basten and Mane, but then he's got Lindelof and Shaw and David Silva and Ndidi. It's a weird team, I'm not going to lie. Normally you would spread those coins out a little bit more, but maybe he just really likes to have a couple of expensive players. But we end up going 1-0 up. Took us 25 minutes, and this was quite an intense game. The way that I was getting charged down by Joe Gomez and stuff was quite difficult, because he is probably the best defender in the entire game. He's just ridiculously annoying to play against. But Mbappe manages to turn a couple of times. Did you see that? He started to bring his keeper out, move his keeper a little bit. He was able to cover a lot of my shots really well, but I just double bluffed him, went back on myself again, ended up getting a nice easy shot on goal, and we can push through here, chip the goalkeeper, and Kyle Walker sort of somersault kicks it into the roof of the net, but of course it had already crossed the line from the Frenchman. So 3-0 up in this game, which I think could have gone a little bit differently, if I'm honest. But yeah, we were really clinical with the strikes that we were getting, and as you can see here, pushing through against Mbappe one-on-one with the goalkeeper. This time decide to not chip him and just finesse it around the goalie into the what was postage stamp area of the goal. It was literally right in the top corner, and we can go 4-0 up. My opponent does knock one over the top in the second half, though, and gets himself a consolation goal with Gabriel Jesus, but it's not really going to be much, just because there's no way I'm going to let a 4-goal lead slip in this match. It may happen from time to time, but look at that from Lautaro Martinez. That was just filthy. Yeah, I guess he started to bring his goalkeeper off the line, and I just chipped it literally perfectly. So yeah, we'll take the 5-1 win against this guy. And as you can see, we managed to have quite a lot of opportunities. So deserved win in the end. So 7-3. That's our first 10 games done out of the way. Some daily objectives completed. Of course, as we go through the week, I will be taking on some of the new weekly objectives and probably the Mesut Ozil stuff as well, if it doesn't look like it's too difficult or anything. Haven't had much of a chance to look at that yet, but I'm sure a lot of you guys already have him. So I think it's not quite as difficult as Scream Dzeko, but seems to obviously output quite a nice player in an 87 rated Ozil. So this next game here, I end up going 1-0 down to Jamie Vardy, who I have decided is now like my nemesis on this game. There are two players I cannot defend against. One, Marcus Rashford. Two, Jamie Vardy. I don't know what it is. I guess you could put Timo Werner up there as well. He hasn't troubled me so much lately. I don't think I've played him that often. But yeah, we really struggle against Jamie Vardy. He's just got this like crazy annoying factor about him which just works. And he gets all the lucky rebounds and everything, and he scores all the shots. So yeah, it's been a Vardy party for my opponents, that is for sure. But Neymar is able to strike at the near post a couple of times to put me 2-1 up, and I feel like I deserve this match considering he's had literally one shot and scored from it. So, you know, poor goalkeeping and stuff, but yeah, it's just the Vardy factor, I think. But yeah, in the second half, we're able to skin the defender again, scoop round him, hit that shot powerfully across goal. Mbappe is able to get another goal for us to lengthen out this game to a 3-1 victory, and we were able to hold on to that. And what's that going to be? Is that our 8th win now? 8-3 or something? So you know, we're doing all right. It's all right now. 8 wins, silver 2. Worst case scenario is we could get 1 red player from that, I'm pretty sure. But of course, we are going to be carrying on. Now this guy's got some really nice French players. There's some expensive players in there, Varane, Kante and Pogba, as well as the meta players like Martial and Ndombele, Rashford, and Ousmane Dembele, of course, who's obviously a fantastic player on this game. Now Mbappe ends up putting me 1-0 up. I finally hit a through ball that actually worked, and his pace and finishing ability was just second to none, able to score even with the weak foot there. I'm pretty sure he's got a 4-star weak foot, so never really in doubt when I'm taking that shot. So only 1-0 at half-time. It was definitely a difficult match. He was a good opponent, but I felt like I was going to come away with the win. I felt like I should come away with the win in this match. And, you know, I was creating what I thought was good chances, and any opportunities that my opponent was getting, I just genuinely felt like they were quite lucky. So I felt so good when there was less than 15 minutes to go in the match, and I just put myself 2-0 up. That is exactly, obviously, what I wanted. I want that 2-goal cushion. But look, 1 tackle from Goretzka, 2 tackles from Goretzka, don't quite work out. Pogba is obviously just stronger, which, you know, fair enough, but my opponent scores there, and then for some reason my defense just wanted to play super high right at the end. Of course they did, and Rashford is able to clinically put that one away. Another one of course, my arch nemesis. And so he equalises. He scored his first goal after like 83 minutes, and he somehow gets back into this match. I was devastated. I was raging as well. It wasn't good. And this game goes all the way to penalties. So my second penalty shootout of this weekend league. Currently, we're even right now with my opponent taking him first. He doesn't miss his second shot. However, my second shot gets saved by Ter Stegen. So it is now advantage my opponent. Luckily, I saved the next one, though. So if we can score here, we can at least be on level terms again, you know, which is nice. However, my opponent's keeper saves it. So it's still advantage to my opponent, and he scores his next one. So we've got to score this to even start thinking about keeping up. Mbappe tucks it away nicely. Can Kante miss? Well, my goalkeeper can save it. So at this point, if we score this one, we are going to be level pegging again. Neymar looks left, shoots right, and because he's got such a high penalty stat, you can move it all the way across the goal and still typically have most of that large circle inside the net, which is nice. My opponent, I think, did he score or miss his last one? I can't remember where we're at right now, but I save one right here, which I think gives me the opportunity to do to win the game, but my opponent is able to stop that penalty. He then scores his next one, so I have to score in sudden death now, otherwise I'm going to lose. Lovely penalty penalty from Eder Militao. Luckily, that one went in. But then another solid penalty from his Eder Militao. So again, I've got to keep scoring in order to stay in this match. But I'm hoping we can save this next one. Well, we don't need to. It flies over the bar. I score mine with Semedo, and we end up coming away with the victory there. 7-6 on penalties. That was a stressful one. I reckon the old heart rate was probably up there in the hundreds. Yeah, probably. I don't know how high it would have been at, but I'm sure it was just pretty nerve-wracking, isn't it? A weekend league penalty shootout, they're never a good thing. So that brings us up to what I think was 9 wins, was it? I'm not 100% sure. But the next game we go into, Vardy scores after 2 minutes, and I'm just like, this guy, I can't play against him. And he stirs the pot. And you'll notice throughout this game that this is the celebration that my opponent liked to use. But we get an equalising goal with Neymar. It's just a nice little cutback from Mbappe. And knowing that the goalkeeper is often quite slow in those situations, we were able to score. And then that's some brilliant strength, actually, from the Brazilian to hold off, I think, Davinson Sanchez in order to put me 2-1 up. But then look at this. I can't believe that. I can't believe that my fullbacks aren't covering that. Yeah, that's what you get for playing balanced with overlap. Like the fullbacks just go so far up the pitch, it's unreal. And then Jamie Vardy once again scores another goal. Like, he just gets the perfect touch over my defender. And then take a look at this for just absolute rubbish. What is going on? 1 goal kick and he's through. I don't get it. I was so annoyed that Vardy ends up getting his hat-trick, stirring the pot once again. He's winding me up, that's for sure. And, well, I mean, we're really pushing because I felt like I could get this game. I felt like I could win it. So we run through, we score a green smasher there with Mbappe, but it was in the 84th minute, so you know what my opponent did for the next couple minutes. It was obviously going to happen. He just, managed to hold the ball and stuff and see out his victory. So that leaves us at 9 wins. And our first loss of the episode. We've been in tough games, so to only lose 1 so far is pretty good. This guy's got a nice looking Bundesliga side, not super OP. This is the sort of thing that I would have been worried about in weekend league number 1, but I know that I out-team this guy at this point, so was fairly confident. If we were a similar level of player, then I should pretty much come out on top just because of my team, right? But I go 1-0 up. Mbappe then strikes it, comes out, Lewandowski's there to pick up the pieces. 1 flick, 2 flick, not 3 flick, then knock it into the box and Goretzka volleys it. And I'm just like, what have I just witnessed? That's a beautiful goal. And that's enough for my opponent to decide that he's had enough. He doesn't want any more of that to happen against him. So we get a really nice quick rage quit there to get our 10th victory of the weekend. So 2-0 and obviously a lovely volley from Goretzka. Probably one of the nicest goals that we've scored this weekend so far. We just need 1 more win now, of course, to get up to 11. But I decided at this point that it was time. It was time to start making those changes. Now, I've mentioned about Lewandowski and stuff in the last couple of episodes that maybe I'm not super happy with him. We end up getting a premium gold players pack actually for hitting 50 wins in champs, and it is going to offer out boards for us. So the board player we get is unfortunately Sigurdsson, but yeah, you know what, we'll take it. It's an 83 rated player. These players are for free just because we've managed to play the game and worked our way through the challenges. So yeah, we'll take it. Nothing really else in the pack, to be honest, and it's all untradeable, so it can just sit there and whatnot. But I then decided that I needed to make some coins stat quickly. Now this was the biggest sale. Zimmerman, a right back. I mentioned him actually a couple of episodes ago. He actually was in the Bundesliga and did sell for a bit. And then this left back here sold for 3.5k. So very, very nice amount of money to get for some Bundesliga players. And then I just discarded a couple of other players and whatnot to get enough coins to go out and buy Ousmane Dembele, because I want him as my cam. I want Neymar and Mbappe up front, and I want Ousmane Dembele as my cam. I'm going to bring Ndombele into the starting 11, which of course means that we have another player that we need to pick up, who is going to have to be another centre midfielder if we're going to stick with this 4-1-2-1-2, which I'm not 100% certain about, by the way. But yeah, a few more things sold. I quick sold a bunch of stuff as well. We managed to get the 7.5k for Zimmerman, which is brilliant. And that brings us back up to, after buying Dembele, up to about 18.5k. I buy myself one of the position cards that I needed. Brings me back down to about 16k. Couple more discards later, and we've got enough coins to go out and buy a Musa Sissoko. So we're going back to the Ndombele and Sissoko midfield, but we've got Ousmane Dembele as the central cam, and then we've got Mbappe and Neymar up front. And I just think the agility, the pace, I think that's probably going to work out better for us, unfortunately, than a red Lewandowski, which, yeah, so I had a couple of the position cards already, knew that I needed to go out and buy the cam to centre forward. It was cheaper to do that and use the cards that I've got than it was to buy a Sissoko that was already in a striker. But as you can see, the team obviously now gets full chemistry, whereas beforehand, Tolisso was off chem. He was one of the main players that I just didn't really like, and I think Sissoko and Goretzka are on similar levels of being OP, and then I think I'd prefer Ndombele over who was it? Tolisso, yeah. So we managed to keep Goretzka in that process too, so he can go on the bench and be my substitute player that we bring Ndombele off for. So I'm now a little bit more happy with the team. I think what we've got going forwards is a nicer attack, a more fluid attack. So hopefully that can work out for us. We'll go into one more game of the weekend league just to give this team a little test out and stuff, and you know, so that I'm not just buying it and not using it in this episode. But I think my opponent's controller ran out of battery or something at the very start of this one. Absolutely no prisoners there. I don't care. I'm sorry, mate, but I just need to get wins. It's the weekend league, right? So even though he wasn't playing, I stuck a couple of goals in the net. And then he started playing again, and it took up to like the 55th minute for me to actually get another goal. We knock it through to Neymar. He was actually a fairly solid player. The only thing was that he was good at defending, but he really wasn't that great at creating chances. I literally didn't let him have a shot for the entire game. So yeah, there were like 50 minutes there where he actually was playing, wasn't able to take a single shot, but pretty much held me at bay with his defensive ability. So, you know, it was just unfortunate, but I guess at 3-0 and what looks to be a pretty dominant display, we end up coming away with an easy victory there, basically gifted to us in that sense. So 11-4 is our tally. Now, considering we went 5-3 yesterday, and I was at 4-3 for a little while, we've gone on a fairly good run there. Neymar's obviously absolutely killing it. He's got over 300. I'm pretty sure I saw that right. He's got over 300 contributions in not that many games. And then what is that? 26 contributions in 19 games for Mbappe. Yeah, like, I just want them to up front. I want them to flourish. I think if this team doesn't quite work out for me going forwards, then I might even try the 4-2-3-1 and then have, like, I don't know what we could do in order to make that happen. Considering we don't really have many coins, we would probably take Ndombele out, bring Sissoko down to the centre mid spot, and we could even put our first owner Ben Yedder in there up front. And that could, you know, that could potentially work for us. We are also in a position now where Neymar has enough chemistry that we don't need Alex Telles. Is it worth me getting Benjamin Mendy if I can find the coins again? Is it worth, not Benjamin Mendy, Ferland Mendy? Is it worth me upgrading my left back Telles from Telles to back to Ferland Mendy? Is that an upgrade? Is it not an upgrade? Is he more OP? That is something that we can definitely look at for the next episode. Guys, do me a massive favour, smash that thumbs up button if you did enjoy, and of course don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're new, click the notification bell, become part of the best squad on YouTube, and of course you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Those links are down below. Most importantly, I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I will catch you tomorrow with another episode. Peace.